Hey guys, it's Lindsay from Perfectly Bookish 5, and this is my January wrap-up. First, I want to show you, this is a shirt my friend made for me, and I love it because I do love my audiobooks. So I have my January reading stats right here. In January, I read 16 books. 13 of them were audiobooks and 3 were ebooks. I had 9 4-star reads, 1 3.5 read, and 6 3-star reads. I read 3 Abby Gleim books in January and 4 Piper Rain books. I got through a lot of Piper Rain's Bailey series. I had listened to their Green series and I really enjoyed it, so I wanted to get through some of the Bailey books because they're going to be at some book signings I'm going to this year. 2 of them that I have physical copies of that I listened to, Lessons from a One Night Stand, and when I did buy this I didn't realize until I got home that it was already signed, or there's a book plate in there, so I won't be needing to bring this with me to a signing. And then I have Advice from a Jilted, yes, from a Jilted Bride. Sometimes I say of a Jilted Bride. And I think so far I've listened to books 1, 2, 3, and 3.5, the novella. And so far, I think this one is my favorite. Brooklyn is supposed to be getting married, and she gets left. She does not get married. Her jerk of a fiance leaves her. And she plans on going on the honeymoon anyway. It is paid for. She just wants to get away from her family because she loves them, but they're just overbearing right now. There are a lot of Bailey siblings, and she just needs to get out of there. So she tries to go on the trip, and while she's there, she finds out she can't go, and that jerk ex-fiance of hers is going on it with another woman. Then in her building that she lives, she was supposed to be living in it with her supposed to be husband, but she is just going to stay there. She can't get out of the contract, and someone moves in. His name is Wyatt. He is kind of undercover, and he is the son of the person who owns the hotel branch, and Brooklyn does actually work there. He is trying to figure some things out about the hotel to prove to his dad he can move up and get a higher position. And Wyatt kind of immediately gets roped into the Bailey family, and he ends up helping Brooklyn. They're like, oh, you look like such a sweet guy, you can check in on her. This is the grandma talking to Wyatt, and he actually does. He takes good care of her for the situation that she is in, just checking in on her, just being someone that she can talk to, and their friendship grows into something more. So this is so far my favorite book of the Bailey series. I was very fortunate and I received 4 ARCs this month. I read ebooks of Mine to Keep by Natasha Madison, Loving Romeo by Laura Pavlov, Wayward Son by Jay Cronover, and The Summer You Found Me by Elizabeth O'Rourke. I believe that Loving Romeo is one of my top reads of this month, or of January, and it is the first in her Magnolia Fall series. I have a different video where I have reviews where I'm talking more in depth about Loving Romeo and Wayward Son, so please go check those out if you are interested. Wayward Son is the last book in Jay's series. I want to say it's called the Forever Marks series. It is the second generation to her Marked Men series. Some new to me authors in January were, so I'm looking at my stats here, they're further down. Brittany Cherry. Brittany Cherry is someone I have seen at signings, and I believe I have met her once because she was in an anthology and I asked her to sign it, and she is going to be at 2 signings I think I'm going to this year, so I was really excited that I was able to finally read one of her books, and I listened to Southern Storm. I gave it 4 stars. I believe there are 4 books in that series, so I'm excited to continue. Liz Lincoln is another author that is coming to the signing that is local to me. I listened to On the Line. I think it's a duology. It is a sports trope, and I gave that 4 out of 5 stars. Like I mentioned, I listened to 3 Abby Glein books. They are from her Sea Breeze series, and I didn't find these as exciting as the ones in the beginning of the series. I listened to, I believe it was 5, 6, and 7. There are 9 total books in the Sea Breeze series, and they're okay, but I just have been liking the earlier ones better. My friend actually said her favorite book in the series is number 8, and that is what's coming up next. Abby is going to be at Book Bonanza. I was able to meet her back in, I want to say 2019, when she was at Book Bonanza, and I'm excited to get to see her again. Another book that I really enjoyed this month was a novella. It was Visions by Catherine Cowles. It is the kickoff to her Lost and Found series. And there is some guys who are on a special forces team. Well, not special forces, but like they do detective work, and they help take care of business to people who need it. They even help out like some celebrities, and they just do everything. And one of the guy's sister's roommates, she posts a lot of videos on YouTube of music, and she has a stalker. So the sister calls her brother asking if the team can come out and help. And the friend actually knows who the brother is because they grew up together, and his boss doesn't want him to take the job because he is getting so close. Like, the boss is willing to help, but he just doesn't want the guy to actually be the one helping. The boss is saying, I'll do it, but he's getting too close. And it was just a nice quick story of their bonds growing and the mystery that was there to try to figure out who the stalker was. So it was a great kickoff, and I'm actually currently reading now the first book in the series. The other authors that I read this month, Allie Hazelwood, I read Love Theoretically. I gave that 3 stars, and then I read Anna Wong, If We Ever Meet Again. It is the first book in a series, and I think that is it. So my favorites this month were definitely Loving Romeo and Visions of You. I kind of feel like I had a mediocre start to 2024, but I'm already really excited to talk about my wrap up for February because I just read a really awesome book. But it still was good. Had my few favorites in here. Let me know what were some of the books that you read in January and what your favorites were. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.